Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokémon Brilliant Diamond. You rejoin us here in Jubilife City, just about to set off towards Canalave City in order to obtain our next gym badge. If you're new around here, please drop a like on the video and subscribe. I release new videos every day at 1 o'clock, so please subscribe and you'll get notified every single time that I upload. So you'll see here, I'm just having a quick flick through the team to make you all aware of the current situation with our team, as I understand that sometimes I skip over the battles, so you might not be fully aware of what we have going on. So that's the full state of our team. We've got a pretty solid squad going on at the minute. I think the only two that aren't really set in stone is Drapion and Hippowdon. Hippowdon will almost certainly be replaced. Drapion I haven't decided yet, as I still need to come up with a counter for fairy types. The Drapion just doesn't seem strong enough at the minute. Anyway, now we're in Jubilife, we might as well pop into the Poketch warehouse building. If we speak to the president of the Poketch company, he will give you a new Poketch app, which allows you to mark on the map and give yourself like little waypoints so you know exactly where you want to go. Now we've done that, we can head out the west side of Jubilife City and onto Route 218. So Route 218, of course, we have explored briefly before. We picked the old rod up off the fisherman in the interval area. And then there was just this girl here stood with her Wingull. Nothing that we could get there. But now we have Surf, we can proceed on. First up, if you surf northeast from the first pier we get to, you can get to a little alcove here, and there's a rare candy sat waiting, so definitely worth picking up. And then if you continue on to the west, we can surf around here, and there are a couple of trainer battles ready and waiting for us. The first of which is here against Sailor Skylar, who uses one Mantike level 27 and a Gyarados level 31. If we then surf down this little crevice here, we'll see there's another trainer here, which is Fisherman Luke. He has a rather large team of 4 Magikarp and 1 Gyarados. And then the fisherman just south of him is Fisherman Miguel, who uses 2 Gyarados, both level 29. Just south of Fisherman Miguel, there is an item ready and waiting for us. Of course, you can get this just by surfing west off the bit of land just south of the first pier. But where's the fun in that? So now we've picked that up, we can head back round to where we were a second ago, to where we faced off against Sailor Skylar. Just south of him, there is another trainer here, which is Guitarist Tony. If you speak to the AI just by Guitarist Tony, you will get some Flora stickers. So maybe just worth picking those up. And Guitarist Tony uses 1 Luxio level 31. Just north of this grass patch, there are a load of berry trees, so 2 Perisim berries, 2 Rawst berries, 2 Pinap berries, and 2 Figgy berries. Within this grass section, there is a new Pokemon available to you if you are on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. This Pokemon is Mr. Mime, which is the evolved form of the previously obtained Mime Jr. Mr. Mime can be a bit of a pain to catch, as you'll see here. I do struggle for a little while. But yeah, there's a reasonable chance of encountering this in the grass. It's got around a 15% encounter rate, no matter the weather. If you're playing on Shining Pearl, you can encounter a Glameow in this section of grass. So if you haven't picked up one of those yet, then yeah, Glameow is available here. The other Pokemon available in the grass you likely will have picked up before. Floatzel, Shellos, Gastrodon and Wingull are available. Within the water, if you're surfing, you can pick up Tentacle, Tentacruel, Wingull and Pelipper, same as all the other sea sections we've faced. And the standard Pokemon are available with fishing with the old and good rod, which are Magikarp and Finian. So yeah, as stated, you can see here I am struggling a little bit with catching this Mr. Mime, so we're going to switch over to our Drapion here, and just give it a status effect with the poison, which should slowly erode its health. I'm just acutely aware I don't want to wipe it out. I really need to teach False Swipe to one of my team members, which will make things much easier when I'm trying to catch Pokemon. and save you all a lot of time watching. So that's him toxic, poisoned by toxic. So this should slowly whittle away his health now, and of course Drapian's dark type is completely resistant to Mr. Mime's psychic type attacks. We're just going to keep throwing Ultra Balls while the poison deals its damage, and eventually we will catch it. Right, it's going to be next throw or bust, I think. Otherwise the poison is going to take out Mr. Mime, so hopefully we catch it on this attempt. And so we do. So there we go. As you can see, very tricky to catch. With Pokemon like that, it's definitely recommended to have something that can inflict sleep or has false swipe or both. It is a pantomime expert that can create invisible but solid walls using miming gestures. You'll notice as well that Mr. Mime no longer is just a pure psychic type, it is a fairy type as well now. So if you're looking for a fairy type, that could be an option. There's not much to do on Route 218, that's everything. So now if we head through the western exit, we will find one of Professor Rowan's assistants. He is also Dawn's father. So he here will meet us and he'll try and put some software into our Pokedex. Although we appear to already have the upgrade, so I'm not sure why he felt the need to do that, but... And once he goes away, we can continue over to the west and we can exit into Canalave City. So there's a few things to do on this eastern side of Canalave City. Within this first house, if you speak to the lady with the green hair, she will give you a set of new TMs. She says they were mixed up in the cargo shipment. So these TMs are TM48, which are for the move Skill Swap, which swaps abilities with your opponent's Pokemon. I don't think it has hugely practical uses, unless you're facing off against an opponent's Shedinja, for example. Otherwise, it doesn't seem particularly useful. Heading into the house just north of the Pokemon Mart, you'll find this man here, and this is the Move Deleter. So he can delete moves from your Pokemon. Obviously, it had way more value in the original Diamond, Pearl, Platinum games, because back then you had to give hidden machines to your Pokemon, which couldn't be overwritten unless you deleted them first with the Move Deleter. Nowadays, we don't need to do that, as they're just regular TMs and regular moves. Heading across the bridge, we do find our rival here, which is Aiden, and he says that he's just obtained the Canalave City gym badge and wants to battle us. Still surprised he manages to keep battling and winning these, as he doesn't have a particularly good team. However, he will this time have a new Pokemon on his team. None of his Pokemon have evolved since you last faced them. He still has Staravia, and then two of either Roselia, Ponyta, or Weasel, depending on which starter you chose. But he will have one new Pokemon in the form of Heracross. So Heracross can be a strong Pokemon. It's got very high attack, so it can do some serious damage. However, being a bug and fighting type, it also has quite a few weaknesses, so you shouldn't have any trouble countering it. The rival starter also has yet to hit its final evolution, This will be the last time this is the case, as for now it's level 35, so one level off its evolution into Empoleon. So next time we face him, he definitely will have his final form, and I imagine a couple of other evolutions as well. So that's Roselia taken down, and here comes his Prinplup. I should have switched out there, I don't know why I didn't, but... Oh, his Prinplup's actually level 37. I thought it was level 35. That's interesting that it's level 37, because surely it should have evolved by now, as Prinplup evolves at level 36. So, the close combat, obviously we're quite a lot of levels above him. Close combat does enough damage to take it out in one hit, however it does decrease our defense and special defense. His next Pokemon, the aforementioned Heracross, and being a bug type, we're going to stick with Infernape, as the fire type attacks will be super effective against him. And that's Heracross fainted. I can imagine Heracross was extremely useful in his most recent gym challenge, as the gym challenge coming up in Canalave City is actually the Steel type gym, so a fighting type is extremely useful. So his final Pokemon is, for me, it is Ponyta. It could be either of Roselia or Weasel for you as well, depending on which starter you chose. So we just switch straight into Manaphy, and Manaphy will easily one-hit this Ponyta. It's one of the issues with this game is as the EXP share is forced to always be on, our team levels at an extremely fast rate, so we're always over-leveled compared to our opposition. I kind of wish there was an option to turn off the EXP share to give us a little bit more of an authentic experience, but that's kind of small fries, as I'm having real good fun with this game at the minute, so I'm quite happy to carry on as is. So Aiden says that we're just a little bit better than him, but he's going to be the Pokemon League champion before us. So we should take on the gym and hurry up and get to it. And then he runs back the way he just came, interestingly enough. Anyway, on the western side here, there is the Canalave Library, as you can see here. There's nothing for us to do in here as of yet. We actually will come back to this in the future, but for now there's nothing for us to do. Just south of the library here is the Canalave City Gym, which, as I've mentioned, is the Steel type gym. We're actually not going to face this immediately right now, as there's something else we can do, which is if you come down here, you speak to this sailor here, and he will take you across to Iron Island. So we're going to check out Iron Island and see what there is available there, and then once we've finished up there, we will then face the Canalave City Gym. So here we are at Iron Island. There's quite a few things to do here. New Pokemon to pick up, and also a couple of items that we can pick up. First off, in this house here, if you come in, you'll see it's an empty room, but with a bed present. If you press A or action against the bed, it will fully heal your team. So if you ever struggle while you're within the cave, just come straight out, or maybe use an escape rope to get out. And then you can interact with that bed and just fully restore your team. You don't have to go all the way back to Canalave City. Just outside of the entrance here, if you action up against this rock here, you will find there is a hidden item inside, which is a Max Ether, used for restoring the PP of your moves. That's the only item available outside, so you can now head to the centre of Iron Island through the entrance. Now you'll see, similar to the Unknown Cave, we again have two choices of which path we want to take. So for now, we're actually going to take the left path. I'm going to deliberately take the incorrect route each time, just to explore what's available in each area, show you what you can pick up and get, and then I'll head to the correct area. So if you don't want to collect all the items or fight all the trainers, you just want to get it done as quickly as possible, take the different routes to the one that I take immediately. So in this case, go right from the first exit. We need to think about using a repel at some point, as Of course, these wild Pokemon are going to get annoying. First up, we have this trainer here. This trainer is Camper Lawrence. He uses a Luxio and a Stunky, both level 31. It's worth noting that there aren't actually any new Pokemon available in this first basement floor. All there is Zubat, Golbat, Geodude, Graveler, and Onix. So all Pokemon we've encountered and been able to catch before. So if you want, just pop a Repel, and you can then make your way through the route a lot quicker. Which I'm actually going to do myself now. So now we've done that, we could just run up to the north, and the item we picked up was an Iron Ball. The Iron Ball is an item that makes it possible for ground moves to hit flying type Pokemon, but also decreases the speed of your Pokemon. So think about using it wisely. We've now headed down the right hand side route, which is the correct path to take. If you head all the way across to the right and go down this little path, you'll find a Super Repel, which could come in handy if you're using a lot of them in here. And then there's a trainer just to the left of that. This trainer is Picnicker Summer, who uses a Staravia and a Cherim, both level 31. Just down below here, below Picnicker Summer, in these girders, if you click on the bottom right hand side, there is an item available, which is a Tiny Mushroom. Now there is more to do in here, but you can proceed down the lift if you want to straight away. We're actually going to go back and go down the western side, so we can pick up the rest of the items available here. Heading down this western side, the last item available here is this, which is an escape rope. An item you can choose to use at the end of this to get out, although there is quite an easy way out. I'm trying to remember how to get back to... Oh no, it's not this way. Sorry, it's by Picnicker Summer. Yeah, so now we've found that item, we can now proceed down to the lower basement level. Or to the second basement level. There we go, take the lift down. On the lower basement level, again, there's nothing new. There's only Golbat, Geodude, Graveler, and Onix that we can face. We're going to first go down the right-hand side, as there's nothing but items and trainers that we can face here. The first trainer here is Worker Willy, who uses an Onix and a Graveler, both level 31. Just to the east of him, sat on this little just raised area, there is a Max Ether. We can now proceed back round the other way towards the second trainer here. Second trainer here is Worker Braden. Worker Braden just uses a single Graveler, level 33. Beware, however, it does have Sturdy, so can prove a bit of a pain. Just south of Worker Braden is a TM23, which is the TM for Iron Tail, a powerful physical steel type move. And on the opposite side of this little ditch, there is another item hidden on the ground. If I can find where this is sat, I think I'm stood on top of it. There we go. There's a bottle of iron here, which is another EV boosting item. So we've now got everything from this area. We can now head back to the main stairs, head up, and then go down the left-hand side into the final cavern. Heading into the final cavern, you do encounter a new person here, and this guy is called Pokemon Trainer Riley. You're Harrison, I'm Riley. I'm a trainer, and yes, it is a bit odd that I would be training here. If you'd like, we could team up. The wild Pokemon here are reckless. So we're now teamed up with Riley. He works in exactly the same way as I think it was Cheryl that we had in Eterna Forest, and that all battles will now be double battles, and he will heal our team up after every battle. I'll show the first of these trainer battles here, as there's an interesting kind of strategy you can go through when you're in these partner battles, helped by the mechanic of Riley healing you up every time. So I'm sending out Manaphy here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move Surf. Surf hits everyone in the battle, including Riley's Lucario. So whilst it will allow me to one-hit both Graveler and Zubat, it will also damage Riley's Lucario. However, if Riley's Lucario faints, it doesn't really matter to me at all, as he will heal it up at the end of the battle, and I don't really need his Lucario to do any damage anyway, as Manaphy's doing plenty enough damage on its own. So, some good levels and XP gain there. Now we've defeated Hiker Damon and Hiker Maurice. We can now proceed onwards with the route. Now, in here, there is a new Pokemon available in here, which is why I've stopped using my Repel. Hopefully we'll run into it eventually. I'll just keep running around without the Repel until we do. But you can find the same as everywhere else, you can find Golbat, Geodude, Graveler and Onix. However, you do also have a low chance, around 10%, of facing off against the evolved form of Onix, which is a Steelix. So we'll try and find one of those. Anyway, just south of the two hikers, within that barrel, we did find a full restore hidden. And then in the northwest corner, there's also an Ultra Ball sat. Continuing on around this anti-clockwise loop on the raised up section, we can see that there was a small item in a dead end, so we're going to head round and try and pick that up. So this actually ends up being a dead end into this southwest corner, so we should actually go back and find another way round. I'll be happy when we find this Steelix, because it means we'll be able to pop our Repel and quickly get back around here again. So I'm just checking here to see if there's any reason why there's a dead end here, in case there's a hidden item, but there's nothing there. So we can now head down south and see what else we can find. However, before that, we have finally found a Steelix, which is exactly what we were hoping for. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here, as of course Riley's Lucario will continue to use moves and do damage to Steelix. So we need to be careful to make sure that he doesn't knock Steelix out here. Hopefully he'll do damage to Onix here and knock it out, as its sturdy has allowed it to stay in. Indeed it has, which is good to see. So now we're left with only Steelix, so we can now consider throwing Pokeballs at it. Of course, you can't throw Pokeballs when there's two Pokemon, as it says that they can't pick a target. We're going to go with a Quick Ball here, as it's only turn 2. Hopefully this will get it on the first attempt. Which it does. Excellent, excellent to see. And that's Steelix added to our Pokedex. Another level up here for Drapion, who's starting to get some actually good stat boosts. And Steelix's Pokedex entry is: tempered underground, under high pressure and heat. Its body is harder than any metal. So we're going to send Steelix to box. Steelix is a steel and ground type Pokemon with extremely high defensive stats. So a reasonable Pokemon for your team if you're looking for something that's very, very hardy. We can now also pop another Repel to avoid the wild battles. Speaking of battles, we attract the attention here of Worker Brendan and Worker Quentin. They face off on a double battle, and one uses an Onix and a Steelix, the other uses a Geodude, Graveler, and an Onix. Simple to take out though, using the Surf strategy that I shown there. We can now head round and pick up the item we saw earlier, which is a Max Potion. Continuing round southwest, we find ourselves here. We can see there's actually 2 Galactic Grunts stood by the exit. We, however, can't get round there right now, as it's blocked off by some rocks and some barrels. So we're going to pick up the HP up that's present on the floor, and then find ourselves an alternate route around to them. So if we head all the way back round here, not this way, sorry, just north of the 2 workers that we faced off against. If we then head down this little path to the right of them, we find our way onto another raised platform where there's 2 ace trainers waiting for us. Before we face off against those, we're going to come round to the right and we're going to go into this little pit here. Within this pit there is the Iron Plate, which is another one of the Arceus plates and an item that boosts the power of steel type attacks. And then there's 2 more trainers here just north of that pit. They are Black Belt Kendall and Battle Girl Tyler. Which is interesting as the guy appears to have a girl's name and the girl appears to have a guy's name. Anyway. One uses a Krogunk and the other uses a Pokemon we haven't yet seen, which is a Medicham. A Medicham is the evolved form of Meditite, a fighting psychic type Pokemon that we found earlier in our story. So we're just going to use Surf again, which should take them both out in one hit and nice and easily get us on with this battle. Easily done. And the best bit about the healing coming from Riley also is that he also restores your PP, so you don't have to worry about using a certain move too much, as his continual healing means that you have it back all the time and always available, which is very handy. So now we've defeated those, you can see if we come up to this northeastern corner, there is another item waiting for us. This item is the Magnet. The Magnet is an item which can boost the power of electric type moves. Now we've got that, we can now face off against these 2 ace trainers. They are Ace Trainer Jonah, who uses a Ponyta, a Haunter, and a Floatzel, and Ace Trainer Brenda, who uses a Pelipper and a Sudowoodo. Now, just behind Ace Trainer Jonah, within one of these barrels, if you click action on it, you can find a revive hidden within the barrel. Now we've got every item we could possibly get, we can now proceed on to the Galactic Grunts. And they say that they're taking all the Pokemon that they possibly can, and they're taking all the Pokemon from this rusted out island. And Riley is rather philosophical about it, that all trainers and Pokemon live together in Sinnoh, and that what Team Galactic are doing is unethical. And he then decides to put us in a double battle with them. Now, if you've defeated all the other trainers in here, you'll have no issue with these 2. Whilst they do use a full complement of 6 Pokemon, 3 apiece, their Pokemon are not strong at all. 2 Zubat and a Golbat for one, and a Glameow, Krogunk and Stunky for another. So they're very easy to take out. Again, particularly using this Surf strategy, which just one-hit KOs everything. And that's the 2 Galactic Grunts defeated. Excellent work there from our Manaphy, which really seems to be the strongest member of our team at the minute. It's very, very powerful. And with that, the 2 Galactic Grunts will flee, so we can then speak to Riley. They do mention a big plan from Team Galactic, so there's something that we're unaware of. Thanks, you really helped me out. Listen, I have a Pokemon egg here. Would you take it with you? Thanks, I'd like you to show off the Pokemon that hatches from that egg all over the place. So you can't actually click no on that. If you click no, he'll repeatedly make you say yes. Keep coming back and back until you say yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to swap Hippowdon out for now and put the egg into our party. We may actually swap out Infernape in future as he's the highest level, so he can afford to miss a little bit of experience. However, for those who don't know, the item in the egg given to us by Riley is the baby form of the Pokemon he was using. So we will get an egg for Riolu. And the Pokemon he was using was, of course, a Lucario. Now we finish that, we can head through the caves and lifts into this final chamber here. And in this final chamber, there's one last item for us to pick up, which is the Shiny Stone. Of course, the Shiny Stone is excellent for us, as it will allow us to evolve our Togetic into its final form. So we will now replace Togetic with a Togekiss. Now, Togekiss is a really strong fairy and flying type Pokemon with high defensive stats and strong special attack. So hopefully something that really comes invaluable for us, particularly as we start coming up against trainers with dragon types. Plus, I just have a fandom of Togepi and its evolutions ever since the original Pokemon series with Misty and her little Togepi. So it's also going to learn the move Air Slash, which is slightly lower accuracy but higher damage move than Aerial Ace, so we're just going to learn that up. And with that, we are now done with Iron Island. We can therefore now just head out the little door off to the left, and you'll find that if we jump down these ledges... Oops, didn't mean to do that. Jump down the ledges, it will take us straight back to the sailor who sailed us over here in the first place. So we're going to set sail and we're going to head straight back to Canalave City. With that, we are actually now going to continue on, and we are going to face off against the Canalave City Gym Challenge. Now, as I said, the Canalave City Gym Challenge predominantly uses steel types, so fire or fighting types will be the best choices here. However, I definitely recommend having a fire type, as some trainers use the Pokemon Bronzor, which is a steel and psychic type, so that will actually have an advantage over your fighting types. First trainer we come up against here is Black Belt Ricky, who uses a Steelix, which is the steel and ground type, as we caught earlier. So Infernape's fire type attacks should do plenty of damage here. I'm actually going to go for a power-up punch here, as I don't think without it we would be able to defeat Steelix in 2 hits. So hopefully the power-up punch will boost our attack enough that the second hit will now take Steelix down. For our second attack here, I think I'm going to go for a close combat. And that should hopefully do enough to defeat it, yes indeed. Of course, Steelix's defences are so high that it's not easy to take out, so boosting our attack definitely helps there. Now, one thing to bear in mind while going through this gym challenge is that whilst the individual smaller trainers within the gym might seem like pushovers, the gym leader Byron most certainly is not. He'll probably be the strongest battle that you've faced off against so far. So make sure that you're prepared for that. I'm actually going to take the egg out of my party here just for the gym challenge. And then I'll put it back in once we've done that, just to let it hatch. But for now, we're going to bring Hippowdon back into the fold, as of course its ground typing gives us somewhat of an advantage against steel types. Now, in this gym, the way you move around is you take these escalators up and down to the required places. The yellow ones take you up and down one floor, and the red outlined escalators take you directly to the top or the bottom. You have to find a combination of the escalators that take you to where the gym leader Byron is, which is via the red escalator in the back middle of the bottom floor. The one just above where we are currently with this trainer. So there's several different ways to do this. I'm going to try and find the way which fights us up against as many of the trainers as possible, so we can get some of the sweet experience. Even though they don't give us that much experience at a time. It's still useful, as you can see, with Hippowdon levelling up again. And also learning the move Earthquake, which is an excellent move for him. High damage, high accuracy, and of course gets the same type attack bonus with him. Significantly stronger than the move Bulldoze, so that'll be very useful for us. And with that, Worker Gary is defeated, and we can proceed on to our first few movements on these platforms. So I'm going to take this top right platform, and as you see, it boosts us up one floor, and we can then follow the steel girders round to the next one, which takes us back down a floor, and we then have to face off against this ace trainer here. Thankfully, a lot of these trainers only have 1 or 2 Pokemon, so they're not too difficult to defeat. This ace trainer actually breaks the mold a little bit by not using a steel type. He uses the Pokemon Skorupi, which is bug and poison type, as I'm sure you know, considering we had it in our team previously, before it evolved into Drapion. So Flame Wheel will one-hit that. It's not got particularly high defensive stats, so it can be easily taken down. And his second Pokemon is a Steelix. And there we go, Steelix is now defeated, so we can proceed. Now, moving along, we can just take the last escalator that's available to us, and we then have one which shoots us across this beam. Another which takes us all the way to the top floor, where we have a choice of going right or left. Right or north, sorry. I'm actually going to take the northern one, and then head all the way up here to where this trainer is and battle against him, and then I'll probably take the path just to the right of him. The trainers seem to suggest which way to go, so I'm just going to keep following them, I think. So he opens up here with an Onix, and we're just going to keep going with our Infernape. We need to keep a small eye on close combat and how much PP we have left in that, as of course we don't want to run out if we want to use that move against Byron. So thankfully Onix doesn't have Sturdy, so Power Up Punch just one hits it and gives us a good attack boost, which will be useful for his second Pokemon. With that, we're getting close to levels up on a couple of Pokemon here as well. And he sends out a second Onix, once again, only level 29. Seeing as we're level 48, that's going to be another simple one-hit KO. I always think it's crazy, the disparity in levels between the gym leader and the trainers within their area. Because Byron's Pokemon are about 10 levels higher than this, which is just crazy. So we can now take this path off to the right, which will shoot us over to here. And there's no way for us to go down this southern path, so we once again will take the path off to the right and fight off against this black belt trainer. So once again, another Onyx. There's a running theme here with the Pokemon in this gym, mainly revolving around Onyx and Steelix. So just make sure your team is set up to be able to defeat that, as it shouldn't be too difficult. I accidentally used Flare Blitz here. I meant to click Power Up Punch, but in the end ended up using Flare Blitz, which is annoying as it takes away some of our HP, along with not one-hit KOing the Onyx. And true to form, his second Pokemon is a Steelix. There we go, close combat, easily one hits that. And that's the black belt taken down. And another level up as well for Electabuzz. So our team is getting some strong levels in here. With Infernape obviously being level 48, then us also having 2 level 47s. We've got some good strength in our team now. So heading south from the black belt, we can then go across this here, then back up again on the run to the right. This elevator will take us right down, and then we have to fight off against this Ace Trainer. This Ace Trainer is Ace Trainer Brianna. She only has the one Pokemon, which is, again, breaks the mold somewhat, and is an Azumarill, which is a water and fairy type. Something which my Infernape is not going to be particularly strong against. Regardless, I think I'm just gonna fight this and see if my level advantage is enough to one-hit KO it. Oh, unfortunately not. But it does still get a burn, so it will be defeated soon. And I don't think it'll have the power to one-hit me in return. And it also doesn't use a water move, it uses Play Rough, which is a fairy type, so perhaps we got a little lucky there. But now our Power Up Punch will definitely take it down. And there's level 49 for our Infernape. So we're motoring through the levels now. This gym, of course, has quite a lot of trainers. We've picked up quite a lot of XP here. Anyway, taking this last elevator down, it takes us to the red elevator we were looking for, which shoots us all the way up to Gym Leader Byron. Now, I'm going to just prepare for him here by restoring the HP of Infernape. And I'm also going to use an Ether to restore the PP of Close Combat, as I may want to use that move in our battle. So it's probably best to make sure we've got it available. We can only use it once at the moment. Use an Ether, could have of course used a Leper Berry or an Elixir, but Ether happened to be the closest to where I was. Ah, that's Orberg's gym badge. I see. You've defeated my son. But that's no surprise, he still has much to learn. In place of my son Rourke, I accept your gym challenge. Now Rourke, his team is extremely defensive, but also extremely strong. So I'd be aware of that and try and avoid hits, obviously. It seems simple to say, but avoid getting hit too much. And definitely make sure you're using type advantages to the best of your ability. So Byron's first Pokemon is Bronzor, which is Steel and Psychic type. I think this originally comes out in order to try and counter any fighting types which come out. It can use some pretty unorthodox moves, so just be a little bit aware of that. However, of course, we took it down in one hit, so we're okay. And Drapion here is actually going to learn X-Scissor, which is a strong bug-type move. So for now, we'll replace Pin Missile with that. Although I don't imagine that move will stay around for long, as it doesn't get the stab bonus. Now Byron's second Pokemon is a significantly higher level Steelix than any we faced before. Of course, we struggled before with the amount of damage a Steelix can take, and this one here is no exception. So we're going to have to keep using power-up punches, I think, and try and boost our stats. So Steelix goes with a Sandstorm. Sandstorm is a move that changes the battlefield to a Sandstorm, and any Pokemon that isn't Rock, Ground or Steel type will then be hit by the Sandstorm and do damage on each turn. We hit our second power-up punch, which gives us a two attack bonus, which is good. So we're pretty strong now. Our Infernape, however, is starting to take some serious damage. He's now only got 29 HP left, so I think we're going to use maybe a Hyper Potion here to try and restore his HP. Unfortunately, Byron also does the same thing with his Steelix and restores its HP back to full, which is not ideal for us. We're going to try go for a Flare Blitz. Now we've used a few power-up punches. Hopefully Flare Blitz can do the damage required. Oh no, I forgot about Sturdy. I didn't realise his Steelix had the ability Sturdy, and that's not ideal for us, as I think we've now put ourselves down to the HP range where this Earthquake's going to take us out. We have. That was a huge mistake from me. I should have gone with the close combat instead. But no bother, we'll get Hippowdon in and we'll see what he can do from here. The Earthquake should take him down. Byron uses yet another Hyper Potion on his Steelix, so you can see how much harder he is compared to the other gym leaders, that he's really causing us some trouble here. So Hippowdon does more than half his HP, so hopefully we're faster here, which we are, and the Earthquake will now take Steelix down, finally. Maybe I should have opened with Hippowdon, given that Infernape was weak to the ground type. That's another mistake from me. We'll stick with Hippowdon for now, and we'll face off against his final Pokemon, which is one we haven't seen before, which is Bastiodon. So Bastiodon is the evolved form of Shieldon. Shieldon being the Shining Pearl exclusive fossil Pokemon. So we'll once again use Earthquake, and his Bastiodon also has the ability Sturdy, which is really inconvenient. And it also holds a Citrus Berry, so he gets some of his HP back, although I imagine that won't be enough. And unfortunately, due to his Pokemon's slowness, he can't get that Iron Defense up quickly enough to stop us taking him down. So this Earthquake here should now do it. And that's Byron taken down. So this is the first gym leader, I think, to actually take out one of our Pokemon. And it took down Infernape too, what I would consider one of our stronger Pokemon. So he's definitely a lot more of a challenge. But either way, that's now our 6th gym badge with the Mime badge. So we are really motoring through this gym challenge now. And that's excellent to see. So now we can have Pokemon up to level 70 obey us. Of course, only relevant for traded Pokemon. And we also obtain some stickers and some TM91s. So TM91 contains the move Flash Cannon, which lowers the opponent's special defense and also does damage. It's a steel type special attack, which is something you don't see very often. Instead of coming back the opposite way that you came, you can actually go on this little platform just to the right of Byron. When I sort my movement out, there we go. And it will take you all the way around the outskirts of this upper level. And then finally there will be an escalator down to the bottom level for it, so a quick way out of the gym. So yeah, we now have 6 gym badges, so we're really getting along with this story, and it shouldn't be long until we're challenging the Pokemon League. As we exit, we come into contact with Aiden again, our rival. And he says we could be tough enough to take on the Pokemon League, which obviously is our eventual goal. But he then takes us, tries to take us across to the library. What we're actually going to do here, though, is we're actually going to go and heal up our team, and we're going to deal with that in the next episode. So I really hope you like what you've seen so far in this video. If you have, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe. I release videos every day at 1 PM, so if you hit subscribe, you'll be notified every single time that I upload, and you can keep up to date with this series as it comes out. Anyway, I've been your average gamer, and I hope to see you on the next one.